Today, we get a sneak peek of the Converge 2024 lab called Revolutionizing Patch Operations with ServiceNow and Tanium. Welcome back to the Tanium Tech Talk Show. I'm your host, Ashley McGlone. It is pumpkin spice latte season here in the U.S., and that means it's Converge season. And with Converge comes the capture the flag and the certification exams and the labs that you love to get your hands on this tech. So this year we have some additional labs as part of the mix with our partners. One of our biggest partners is ServiceNow. And we're going to give you a quick tease of one of these labs today. But before we dive in, I'd like to introduce our special guests. Chris and Jeremy are the masterminds behind this lab. Chris, go ahead and introduce yourself for our audience.
Hello, everybody. My name is Chris Brucker. I'm a director of technical account management at Tanium. I've been here for about 5.5 years, and I work with our ServiceNow integrations.
Jeremy.
Hi, my name is Jeremy Ryder. I'm also a DTAM, and I'm based out of Indiana. I've been with Tanium about the same, probably 5.5 years or so. My background is in operations. So past 25 years or so, I've worked with Microsoft, VMware, server operations, desktop ops, and also done some engineering in that area as well.
Well, thanks for coming on the show today. And before we get into the tech, I have a fun question for you. So far on the show, we've had somebody from the Netherlands, somebody from Czech Republic, and somebody from England. And it was a real mixed review on whether or not pumpkin spice latte was a thing where they are. So I'm curious for you, Jeremy, do you do pumpkin spice latte there this time of year?
I do not. I've had it in the past, but it's not a big deal for me.
All right. How about you, Chris?
I'm not a big coffee drinker, but my wife absolutely loves it. So the house is everything pumpkin spice this time of year.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. Today was my birthday actually, and I got a free apple crisp oat milk macchiato. That's a mouthful, but that was a lot of amazing syrup in there. But anyway, we're here to talk about Converge Labs, and it is that time of year with the crisp smell of Converge Labs in the air. So, Chris, what is the title of your lab, and what are you going to cover?
The title of the lab is Revolutionizing Patch Operations with ServiceNow and Tanium. And what this focuses on is our new patch management for IT operations integration between Tanium and ServiceNow. So this allows you to orchestrate your patch process and integrate it with change management within ServiceNow so that you have a one-stop shop within ServiceNow to do your monthly patching activities.
And Jeremy, for you, who is the ideal candidate? Who would take this lab, and are there any prerequisites they need to be aware of?
So this lab was designed with people in mind that had some experience with ServiceNow and Tanium. However, with the instructions that we have, you don't really need to know either to kind of walk through the lab.
And what will students get to do, Jeremy?
Give you hands-on experience on configuring this new integration using patch management. Walk you through all of the different steps. And we have a guide that goes with the lab, sits side by side with the screen, so you can go step by step and configure it and see actually what it's like to actually go through these steps. Like Chris said, you can go through change management and you can see how it actually kicks off those patches and things like that.
So it sounds like you're saying this is an end-to-end patching solution between Tanium and ServiceNow. Is that what I'm hearing? Wow. So Chris, can you show us, I know we can't do the whole lab here in just a few minutes, but can you show us a couple clips of what people are going to get to do?
Absolutely. So over here we have, and the main theme of the lab is sort of the art of the possible, right? We're giving you a tool set that you can use to meet your organization's requirements. So let's kind of assume the persona here of a line of business user that may need to kick off some patching on their devices, or you can orchestrate this in really any way you'd like. So we have a catalog request in ServiceNow, so this can be made available to end users. It can be made available to line of business folks, but basically we ask them a series of questions, and this is the types of questions you're going to fill out when you're doing this in Tanium too. How far back in time do you want to look at the patches that you want to deploy? So if I want to go back 30 days, if I want to go back 90 days, I can do it based on a relative release date. We have a has this been tested checkbox. This can be part of those requirements to fill out the change in ServiceNow. What OS platform are we targeting? When do I want these patches to occur? What endpoints do I want to patch? So if I've got computer groups in Tanium, I can have those be over here in ServiceNow and select those as part of my deployment. And then what patch group do you want to target? This is basically setting that maintenance window and that you want this to kick off at. Once you submit this, it will kick off a series of actions, both in ServiceNow and Tanium. So when this fires, we create a patch request record inside ServiceNow. That patch request has a name based upon when you want this to be happening. We can see here, these are the devices that I want to be targeted. I also have information about whether the patches are installed or not on that device. I can see here, these are the patches that I'm targeting. And then my standard options for a deployment. Do I want to restart or not? And then I have this change record here. So I can go into that from ServiceNow and be able to see when it's planned to start and end, as well as if it's been approved or not. So all of your business processes that would normally need to be followed for change management are all here. You've already built that into ServiceNow. This is just knitting the two together.
So, Chris, I notice in your lab environment here, this is a Linux machine change control for the Tanium patch request. So it looks like this does both Windows and Linux. Is that right?
Yes, it does. So it's going to use Windows and Linux. Anything that you can patch with Tanium patch is supported here with the ServiceNow integration.
All right. So this is the jump station. And on the right side, we have our instructions on configuring the lab, walking step by step. But this is somewhat into those instructions. We've got some of these configured. We've synchronized patches from Tanium to ServiceNow. And if I click on the asset here, jump, now I've got those filtered for our Tanium discovery records or discovery sources. We can see the data that Tanium has pushed over. And then if I go down to the bottom, we have our patch status, and then you can see the statuses of all the patches on that machine right from this interface. So that'll be part of the lab. In the lab itself, you will go through like a change control and actually submit those records, approve them, and then kick off the actual integration to push that over to Tanium.
Wow. I'm just thinking, I don't know anybody who likes filling out change controls. And if you're going to list all the patches for me and all the machines for me, wow, that's the worst part of filling all that out. So thank you guys. I know this has been really quick, folks, watching at home. This is literally just a quick teaser of what you can get to do and so much more in the ServiceNow patching lab here coming up at Converge 2024. So Chris and Jeremy, thank you, because I know how much work it goes into creating these labs. Thank you for doing that. So if you liked what you saw in this lab teaser, don't forget to check out the episode here on the Tanium Tech Talks playlist where Sakib goes through and does the full demo on Tanium patch for ServiceNow. So there's an episode out there that you could go ahead and watch that in advance of the lab so you've got a head start. Go to converge.tanium.com. There's actually a link in the show notes here for a free pass to Converge. If you've not signed up yet, you got to get in very quickly so that you can get the lab selections that you want when you sign up. Now, the free pass will get you a free pass to Converge. Then there's an extra little fee for any exams or labs that you want to do, but that'll get you halfway there with that free pass. So that's all in the show notes, and we look forward to seeing you in person. Now, this lab is also available virtually, so if you can't make it to Orlando in November, you can also do it online as well. So that's the good news with these labs that we've been featuring here in this pre-Converge lab series. So I hope to see you in person in Orlando, Florida, November 18th through the 21st, where you will get to meet Chris and Jeremy and a whole host of Tanium experts who have written these labs for you to get your hands on in an area where you don't have to worry about messing up production. And we all are thankful for that. So until we see you in Converge Orlando, Go-Tanium.